Hi everyone, it's Amanda. How are you doing? Today is the 15th of September 2020 and I am making the video that I tried to do yesterday but couldn't. It was literally just impossible. The energy was too difficult. Feeling a little bit brighter today and able to do it, so I'm going to go straight into it. We're going to be reading on the fires in California and along the west coast of USA. I have the intention that this video is a portal of prayer and light and healing for anybody that needs it. Metatron is very insistent that we don't get into a shouting match with each other, linked into why we think these things are happening. I've already had a lot of emails in from people saying, will I read on this subject? And then giving me their opinion, which tends to tie into political reasons as to why they are happening. People blaming both sides of the political debate, not just one. And do you know what I'd like to do in this video? I would like to give Mother Earth the stage and the voice that she needs, because as human beings, we like the sound of our own voice, and very often we don't listen to what she wants to say to us. And then things happen in our world and she captures our attention, whether it be through something such as fire, flooding, volcanoes, earthquakes, whatever, any phenomena where Mother Earth captures our attention for a time. And then it's as though we go back to old patterns, old habits, old ways. But what she's saying is her voice is going to get louder. So it's much better if we can actually truly listen. This follows on from the last video I made about the importance of listening. So I hope that we can have ears that are ready to listen to what she has to say. So I'm going to ask that I be a channel for this, and that the correct and wisest wisdom and support and help comes through on this video, and that as a community we can pull together and learn any lessons that there are to be learnt, but equally also receive the gifts, because there are gifts that come in on the back of anything, even something as difficult and challenging as this. Communities coming together, for example. I'm hearing from quite a few people and watching reports on the news as well of people that are coming together in places such as Oregon, helping each other out. One of the first things that I saw on social media this morning was a group of guys who were out rescuing animals from pens, where the people had fled, and the animals were left there. Not necessarily, well, I guess maybe potentially in the line of fire, but certainly with smoke all around. So it brings out the best in some people as well, and that's what we always have to remember. Some of what I say here may very well be what also came through in part for when I did the work linked into Australia and the fires that they had at the start of this year, 2020. It feels like a long time ago, but it was, the start of this year. I did say in that video that I felt for a year or so that there's this energetic wave moving from east to west, and it would start in the east, started in Australia, New Zealand, that part of the world. This was energetic, and it was to do with purging, clearing, and in its wake bringing in a new frequency linked into new earth energy, divine feminine, etc. It would land finally on the west. I mean, I don't know if I actually said the west coast, but that's what's on the tip of my tongue now. And yes, roll forward 9 months and we now have the fires on the west side of the world, and they are extraordinary in number as well. So I'm not going to show you pictures. You know, you're very capable yourself of looking if you don't know what I'm talking about. And you know, it's all there in plain sight basically. But great big swathe of land down the western coast of USA is affected, not just by fire, but also, as I say, by smoke, by poor air quality as well. Now, I hope that this video is of help to people who are actually going through this, but I also feel that a lot of what comes through is going to be relevant to other places around the world who, for example, have poor air quality. If it's not linked into smoke from fires, it's linked into pollution. As a world, of course, the quality of our air and the need for air and just air as an elemental is completely in our face at the moment. I said to you also last year that the sprays that I sell, which effectively are energy sprays, and so the behaviour of them in terms of what's popular, what's not, it shows, it's like a barometer of what's in the collective consciousness. And the least popular spray for a couple of years had been the air elemental. And I was scratching my head thinking, well, why is this? Because I've got it here, it's a beautiful spray, there's nothing wrong with it. But nobody was ever buying the air elemental spray. Well, into 2020, of course, we've had, or we still have, we're in the middle of a pandemic, which is airborne, also affecting the lungs, which carry the air and the oxygen into our body. We are wearing masks, which are not as comfortable to breathe through as if you don't have to wear one. In fact, one of you last night sent through a little email. I haven't read all of it, but thank you. I'll just say your first name, Laurie, thank you. And you were just talking about the fact that having to maybe wear one all day, I think it was in work or that type of situation, and then you were coming home and actually obviously smelling the fresh air when you take the mask off, but equally this was helping because it's like a breath of fresh air. So everything is interlinked. All of my teachings pile on each other effectively. So firstly, if you've just found me, and a lot of you have just found me because I've got a lot of new subscribers that have joined this channel recently, thank you, welcome. Just because you have subscribed as well, please make sure from time to time you check that you are still subscribed, because a lot of people get unsubscribed from my channel every single month. So, and that's not me, it's just, I don't know, yeah, we won't even go there. Just keep making sure you're subscribed, okay? Let's get to the video. But yes, before I do anything, I'm going to just play the drum for a minute, and we're going to call in the energy of the elementals to help us with this video and connect into the heartbeat of Mother Earth. So firstly, let's just spray the Earth elemental. I'd also like you just to feel the roots coming down from your own feet. So feet on the ground, roots coming down into Mother Earth. Feel the sensation in the soles of your feet, which is linked into your Earth Star chakra, and then feel that firm foundation underneath you. And then go down some more. And we're just going to feel the pulse of Mother Earth and call her in to speak to us via cards, via my voice in this video. Okay, let's get going. And just now absorb the frequency of this particular crystal, which is Mookaite jasper. And you'll see as I tip it onto its side, it looks a little bit like a horizon line with a band of smoke above it, and then above it a different coloured sky, but the earth underneath. And then let's put it like this, and let's just connect into the heartbeat of Mother Earth as she purges, as she cleanses, as she goes through her own evolution and ascension, as she evolves, as she's always evolved through hundreds and thousands of years, and she will continue to do so over hundreds and thousands of years, long after you and I have left this planet. We may well choose to incarnate back onto her, and if we do so, that will be a blessing, because as she shifts and changes and evolves, she seeks to move to a higher vibrational reality, and she will do this with or without us. She wishes to take us with her, but she can no longer hold back from her own organic process of rebirth and growth. And now I'm being shown Mother Earth as the planet that she is, and I'm seeing her place in the wider universe, and I'm seeing the other planets and stars bowing down before her, acknowledging what she is going through at this time, what she has been carrying, the burden that she has upon her, but the light that she holds within her core, and the fact that she will and is evolving to a higher frequency. And we are her children and her students upon her land, her shores, her water, her vegetation. And we are asked to look into our hearts and see how and whether we serve her, we love her, we honour her, we appreciate her, we even take a moment for her. And so just for one moment, let us just give back some love to Mother Earth for all that she gives, for all that she is, and for all that she will be. See her breaking out of the chains of restriction and freeing herself to a higher vibrational reality. She does not want to hurt us. She does not want to destroy us, but she cannot carry us. We need to be moving with her, working with her, flowing with her, and listening to her. And as that was just channeling through me, I was looking down at a deck of cards which I've got out, and it's the Sacred Rebels deck by Alana Fairchild. And this is the back to all of the cards. And the back shows 3 generations, although you could say this is Mother Earth herself. Different ways to interpret it, of course. But maybe just look at that and see what you get from that particular message. To me, it's a journey of evolution and a journey towards greater wisdom and light. The card that this particular picture belongs to is called the Legacy of Light. Now, because I tried to do this video yesterday, I did pull a few cards. I actually made about 20 minutes worth of video, but I'm starting again today. But I'm going to tell you the 3 cards that came out yesterday, and then we will carry on. The 3 cards were taken from the Alana Fairchild deck. And the first card that came out, remember this is particularly linking into the fires and the smoke and everything that's going on in America at the moment with regard to that situation. The first card that we had coming out is After the Storm. Now notice the tense of that. It's showing us after the storm. It's not showing us necessarily what's going on right now. I will look at that. But it's giving the promise that the storm will pass, the fires will recede, the air quality will revert back to a more comfortable, healthy quality, and that it is survivable. It's almost quite important that I say that, because it's easy for other people around the world to maybe look at these stories on the news and to almost disassociate from it, which is just to see it as a story and to forget that within it there have been and there are people that have had to flee their homes, flee their neighbourhoods, and have literally had to run for their lives. And so the vast majority of people survive this, okay? But yeah, this is showing After the Storm. Now the card that came next to this one is this one. And it says, she feels and she knows. She feels and she knows. This particular depiction of a female, to me, has an enormous amount of depth to it and wisdom. And it shows, well, there are many ways you could interpret it. To me, when I saw it, I felt she knows, she feels and she knows. This is Mother Earth. This is Mother Earth. It's also linked into the divine feminine energy that, as I say, is wanting to, there wants to be a changeover of the guard, effectively, okay? And indeed, this is happening, but there is still progress that needed there, okay? It hasn't finished. So we have that. And then the third card that came out, can you see how perfect they are together, is this one. And it says, dream a beautiful dream. So these were the 3 that came out. After the storm, she feels and she knows, and then dream a beautiful dream. It's almost as though what I'm hearing here, I'll come back to this card in a moment, is that the divine feminine aspect of all of us, whether we are a man or woman, is immaterial. We all have a divine feminine energy within us. It's that part of ourselves that we need to harness now and to allow to help manifest the new. Well, this is interesting. What Metatron is saying to me is that there is a lot of unhealed masculine energy in a lot of people. This is really interesting. Okay, so there's a lot of unhealed masculine energy in pretty much all of us, linked into the patriarchal energy that we've been carrying, we've been living with for thousands of years. Either that we have embodied that or we have been a victim of that. We've played both roles, of course. And so therefore for the masculine energy to be the one that leads us into this new beautiful world is going to be difficult because it's wounded and a lot of people haven't done the healing of it yet. Now you might say to me, well, hold on, surely the feminine is very wounded. Yes, that is true. But what I'm being shown here is there is a reset coming linked into the feminine energy that we hold within ourselves. Okay, now this is a blessing. This is a gift that's being given from God to help, I'm hearing the words, seal the deal. What they mean by that is for us, for our feminine energy to be able to bring in this beautiful new dream and this new world. It's as though our damaged masculine psyche isn't able to do it because, okay, I'm just hearing because we can't see past the end of our own nose. Sorry, but it's quite blunt, the teaching that's coming through today. And interesting here, I'm just being drawn to this lady's nose, okay? It's divine feminine. She can see beyond her nose. She feels and she knows. She's doing it in a different way. She's feeling from her heart. This is not dissing men, okay? This is about holding compassion for the wounded masculine energy that is in both men and women. And actually it makes complete sense to me as I step back a moment from it because of course we've all got that wounding because we've been living under a patriarchal rule. Well, I can't remember a time that we haven't. I'm not just talking this lifetime, I'm talking past lifetimes as well. So I'm hearing there's a reset energy coming in. There's a gift, there's a blessing that's coming in for our feminine side. And what we have to do is open up to receive that. So shall we do that? Let's just do that then. Okay, let's just bring this blessing in. So we're going to take a deep breath in together and out. We're going to take a deep breath in and out. We're going to take a deep breath in and out. Let's move on. There's no words. There's no words for it. It's an organic, natural process. It's a download that happens when you are ready for it. But it's coming for anybody that needs it and wants it. Okay. All right. Let's get back to these fires then, and let's just pull some cards. Let's just see what we're going to get. I've had this deck sitting overnight, the Native Spirit deck by Denise Lynn, which thank you, I got sent by one of you over the last couple of days. Thank you. I did actually already have it, so I'll give that to one of my team. Thank you. But anyway, this is the deck that I want to start with. So let's just see what messages want to come through from Mother Earth. So this is the Native Spirit deck by Denise Lynn, and we're asking, please, about the fires in the United States. What message wants to come through with regard to that? Okay, the first energy that we've got is offering, and that shows Stonehenge, and it shows the, well, to me that's linking straight away to solstice, when the sun, I must go, the sun makes a perfect alignment at Stonehenge. So first card we've got is offerings, and that flipped out. So let's see what goes with offerings. Why have we got the card of offerings? So thinking about the fires in the USA, fires in the USA, fires in the USA. What goes with offerings? Fires in the USA. Spirit of Earth. Sort of, this is something linked into, it's sort of repeating what I've already said, which is that, okay, the truth is human beings, I've got Spirit of Fire on the bottom of the deck as well. Sometimes we don't appreciate what we've got until it's gone, okay? This is what I'm hearing. Sometimes we don't appreciate what we've got until it's gone. The fire is coming in and is purging, is clearing the land, energetically clearing the land as well, of old stagnant energy linked into patriarchy. But it's also to do with a rising awareness that's going to be coming into the USA in people that are not yet already awake to this, of nature, of Mother Earth, of the fact that we need to work with her, not against her. This card of offerings linked into Earth herself. It's almost like fire is the agent that makes us step back and appreciate the forests. It makes us step back and appreciate the fresh air. It makes us step back and appreciate the land upon which we walk. I'm looking here at this card with the sky, and that's a clear sky, and it's got almost like the start of a rainbow, not quite, but it's almost like a light bow, I want to call it. But obviously, of course, you can also see the sunrise or the sunset. It's as though man has been so focused on himself that we have forgotten the intrinsic beauty that nature gives 24/7, 365 days a year, every year, decade in, decade out, century in, century out. And for us to evolve to the new earth energy, which is about ascending to a higher frequency, we have to start to truly appreciate what we have in our natural world. We have to stop and smell the roses. We have to stop and see the sunset. We have to stop and notice the dew on the grass. We have to stop and notice the animals in the woods. We have to stop just looking at ourselves and only ourselves. This is not just a message for the West Coast of America. This is a message for the whole world. It's a message for the whole world. Because ultimately, if we are moving towards a unity consciousness, what happens along the West Coast, what happens along Australia in January 2020 or whenever it was happening, should affect us all. Because even if you're not in the path of the fire, in some way you sort of are, because you and I are actually linked energetically. I mean, I said yesterday, I literally couldn't do this. I could not do this video. But I understand myself and I understand energy. I've been working with it a long time. And I knew that I couldn't do it because I was feeling too much. I was just feeling too much. I was feeling the pain. I was feeling the despair. I was feeling the hopelessness. I was feeling the like, well, what the hell can I say that's going to make any difference or is going to help? What can I do? I was feeling that because that's how people on the ground can feel as well. Not all of them, because they also can transcend that and then rally together and help each other. Not everybody feels that. Camera's just gone dark, but some do. And can you see the way that my hand is illuminating? Spirit are just doing this because what they're saying is we all can just extend a hand to each other, wanting to do that. We are all united. And so absolutely, even though I'm not there in the path of the fire, although I have got friends that have evacuated, I'm sitting here and I'm in a comfortable home. I'm safe. It's a beautiful day outside. I'm feeling some of the pain that's happening out there because we can't not do. So these are messages for the whole world. Okay, they're the whole messages. And I'm also just wanting to do that, which is the power of prayer. Okay, the power of prayer. I mean, look at that light on my hands. Look at that light on my hands. Okay, this is God coming in, just saying there is power in prayer. I'm also just seeing my hands now, and it's as though they're turning into a flame. They're actually turning into a flame. They almost look like they are. They almost look like they're two flames. So what are we going to do? Are we going to fan the flames in terms of creating more panic and more fear and more judgment that, you know, this is because of X, Y, Z? Or are we going to come together as one in unity, in prayer, and realize that it is within our power to ride these waves and these changes that are coming into our world that are affecting Mother Earth, and that together we can do this. Okay, together we can do this. So fire is coming in here as a teacher. She's coming in as the energy of a teacher. Okay. Now she's the teacher that a lot of people aren't necessarily wanting to see, but she is coming in as a teacher. And that stands however you believe the fires have started. Even in the case of something such as arson, and there will be aspects of arson in this, not all of it, that's not what I'm saying. I live in an area of natural beauty. You have people here that set fire intentionally or unintentionally to parts of the forest near me. But it's not all. It can be natural, it can be unnatural. But the thing is, fire is still the teacher. It almost is irrelevant how it's coming into being. It is meant to be there to wake us up, to bring us together, to make us appreciate the beauty of the natural world. Let's pull some other cards. Okay, I'll say something that's been in my mind for a long, long time, months and months, and I've probably said it, I might have said it before in another video, I think I probably have, which is that when I first heard the news of these fires and I saw the pictures coming in, I had a similar reaction to sometimes when I'm seeing terrible flooding, you know, in parts of the world, or hurricanes ripping through, you know, small islands and decimating them. And it's a really uncomfortable message, this, to deliver. And I'm not wanting to put doom and gloom in, because we're just being told we've got to keep our vibration high. But equally, we have to live in the real world, and there are some uncomfortable truths. Because if Mother Earth is ascending and evolving and changing, then where we as human beings are given the opportunity to reside upon her, okay, choosing my words carefully, where we as human beings are given the opportunity to reside upon her, may very well change as well. So there may well start to become parts of our world that become more uninhabitable due to climatic reasons. And that is coming in via the energy of fire, water and air, okay, in particular. Put it this way, the world as we know it now, and the land masses that we know now and that we've all settled on, are only there through a process of evolutionary change. If you went back thousands of years, there will be different pieces of land in different parts of the ocean. And life, whatever that life looked at, will have congregated on particular places, particular land masses, which are most beneficial for life to thrive. And so probably not within the next couple of years, but certainly probably within decades, there is going to be some discussion that's going to need to be had in terms of where is best for us as a species to thrive. And some of the places that we, humanity, have put ourselves in are going to become quite difficult to habitat. Not impossible, but difficult. And then it will be a choice of man in terms of, well, do I wish to stay and settle there, or do I need to migrate to different places? And I feel as though we're going to be facing mass migration of people into different parts of the world. which again is going to make us have to delve very deep into our shadow and bring up any intolerance and barrier that is there, which is, you can't come here, it's full. What do you do if it's full, but yet the land upon which people were living is not hospitable anymore to keep human life safe? There's going to be some difficult decisions to come in our world, but I trust and I know that we don't have to go into panic on this, because we will be helped by Spirit every step of the way. But I think what we're seeing now is the first rumblings of this. And I think some people are already deciding, actually, I've lived through, I don't know, however many hurricanes, however many fires, however many floods, bring it back to my country here, the UK, flooding, for example. Do I want to see another winter here with the prospect that my home is going to be flooded again? I mean, I live on the south coast of England, which is quite safe at the moment, but I'm not at all complacent. And I've been shown parts of the coastline here in the UK, for example, certainly over decades, are going to become more difficult as well. So, but am I running to the hills and panicking? No, I'm not. I just have it on the radar that as a human being, as a member of the human race, I have, just as much as you have within me, the ability to adapt, which is what evolution is all about. Okay, evolution is about adaptability. That's how species survive. They survive by being able to adapt. So, you know, we talk a lot in spiritual community about ascension and new earth and fifth dimensional energy, but it's almost as though, and all of it's true, all of it's what I believe as well, but we mustn't forget also that within ascension energies, we have to also start to bring in the other A word, and the other A word is adaptability. Okay. All right. Let's just pull another couple of cards now. Let's see where we want to go. How strange. Well, not strange. The water tastes really different. Why does that water taste different? I haven't put anything in it. Not sure. I'll come back to that in a moment if there's a message that wants to come through. One thing we did when the fires were raging in Australia, I haven't seen a lot of this activity online at the moment, but a lot of people were setting up prayer groups and meditations to ask for the rain to come. And I think we learnt our lesson, didn't we, with regard to doing that? Because what a lot of people did was they prayed for rain, and then of course the rains came, but they were too hard. And so then you get the secondary problem, which is flooding, because hard baked land with a whole deluge of water coming into it straight away just is a problem. So as we're bringing in the element of water here, I think that we need to be very clear. We've got the card of clarity. We need to be very clear for what we're actually asking for. What we're asking for is gentle rain. Okay, we're actually, funny of course, because this is all prints, okay, purple rain. We're asking for gentle rain. We're asking for gentle, healing rain to come to these lands and to take away the heat, to dampen the energy of the smoke, and to begin the process of regeneration. But again, another thing that we learned from Australia and what happened there, and I learnt it as well, is that we have to allow Mother Nature and Gaia to do what she needs to do. And I know it's really easy to say for me sitting here, but it is the truth. So if Mother Earth needs these fires to happen for a process of purification and a death process, because there's a death process going on here, I'll talk about that in a moment, metamorphosis, death, then she will be as thorough as she needs to be. So for us as light workers, straight away within the first day, not that it is the first day, just sort of pray for the rain and an ending to it. On one level, of course, we want that. But again, go into your multidimensionality, and your multidimensional self, there'll be a part of your multidimensional self which will completely understand what I'm saying here, which is that actually that part of you understands that you're part of Mother Earth. And if Mother Earth needs to do something and have this purge, she needs to be allowed to do it. We need to get out of the way of that. Again, easier said than done when you're being asked to get out of the way of it and you're being asked to move your home or, get out of your home. I know people that are going through this. I've got faces and names, people that I love, people, one girl in particular I used to work with in the UK who moved out to America. She's one of the people that she made a big impact in my life, and she's going through hell at the moment. So yeah, I do get this, the human side of it, but I'm trying to show you the higher perspective to it as well. Okay, any other message, please? Repetition. Don't particularly like the card in the context here. This is Mother Earth saying, how many more cycles of abuse am I going to be put through? There is an animal there on that card, which I need to look up what the animal is. Straight away I thought buffalo, but I know it's not a buffalo, so let's just see if it tells us what the animal is, because it's talking about, there's animals there roaming the plains, or, the areas of wilderness. There is the phases of the moon. It's cycles of repetition. And there's a face here. This is Gaia. This is Mother Earth. She's in anguish. How many more cycles am I going to be trampled upon? Am I going to be ignored? Am I going to not be heard? I feel quite emotional with that. Let me read the card though, because it sounds spot on. Okay, this is the deck by Tony Carmine Salerno and Leela J. Williams. It's the Sacred Earth Oracle. So the earthly meaning of this card, it says a sense that history is somehow repeating, a chance to do things differently and perhaps secure a better outcome. To work with or to break a cycle, you need to recognize it. Release stress, tension or anger before it builds to a storm. Release stress, tension or anger before it builds to a storm. These fires are indicative of the rage and the anger and the frustration that is upon the land, okay? Not just on that west coast, okay? Probably linked into the whole of the USA, and not even just the whole of the USA. Remember grid lines. Remember every single part of Earth is connected into every other part of Earth via the grid lines. But what Metatron's showing me is it's a bit like, he's showing me the analogy of a bath. When you're in a bath, well, not that this has happened to me because I'm very clean. I shower twice a day. But anyway, say you haven't had a bath for days and then you get in it and it's got it's scum because you're really, really dirty. And then the scum will go around the sides of the bath, won't it? It doesn't just float in the middle. It goes to the sides. It goes to the sides. It goes to the side. So he's saying that the anger, the frustration, the hatred, the vitriol that the human race has been expanding and shouting, and it's gone to the edges of the earth. This is a huge purge. So it says to work with or break a cycle, you need to recognize it. Release the stress, release the tension, release the anger before it builds to a storm. It's built to a storm. It's built to a storm. And then the spiritual meaning, it says, through infinite cycles of life, death and rebirth, our souls stretch into timeless repetition. All the while your thoughts and actions draw from the past and feed into your future. The journey repeats as often as needed. Okay, there's then a bit here which is talking about the fact that people can adapt to where they live. So it talks about if you're living in an area which is prone to monsoons, or let me just read it, it's obviously needing to be said. In the heavens, in the earth, in societies, in relationship, in behaviours, repeating occurrences are everywhere. There are places where hot, dry months roll into a build-up that breaks into the monsoon season on a repeating cycle of dry, heat and flood. The monsoons will come again, bringing rain for crops, but maybe also upheaval and disease. For the people who live in a monsoon climate, this is the way that life is. For an outsider, the cycle might seem extreme, but the residents are accustomed to the heat, the humidity and the wet. Cycles exist in our lives in many ways. Adverse cycles do not need to be endlessly tolerated. Break the cycles and shift into something more comfortable. Yeah, because I'm not feeling that the message coming through here is just tolerate it. You know, you're going to have to live through, you know, year after year of fire. I feel this is a build-up. This has been a huge build-up, and it might come in. It might come in waves, guys. You know, I'm not saying that this is the only purge, because it's a bit like, I'm just now again going back to the analogy of the bath. It's like waves. The scum will just keep going to the edges. The card that I was fanning myself with is the card of magnetism. And that to me is bringing in an energy of like law of attraction. So it's really important that I think what we're being told is we can break the cycle. We can break the cycle, but it begins with us. Mother Earth is simply reflecting what is within us. This is the teaching of Dr Masaru Emoto and the water work that he did. You know, I've talked about Masaru Emoto many times on my channel. Many of you know his work. And he talked about anything that's going on with water reflects the collective consciousness. If you're in an area of drought, it's linked into an energy, for example, I don't know, of lack, you know, within the collective there. You know, I'm not going to speak a lot on that, but, you know, that's maybe a subject for a different day. But it's the same with fire, is what I'm hearing. It's the same with fire. Where fires burn is often in a place or a country which is burning. Yes, my camera just overheated, just as I was saying that the temperature of man in terms of his anger, her anger, hatred, intolerance, judgment is a reflection of the fires that we see out there in our society. At which moment my camera got too hot and switched itself off. It's just spirit confirming the same message. And you know, I don't know how long I've spoken for, but actually it's almost as though Metatron is saying don't speak for much longer, because this is the main message. This is the main message, which is that the fires in our world that we're talking about here is a reflection of the overheating energy that we have inside of ourselves. You've only got to look to the violence, the way people are talking at each other, the level of anger that is out there right now, to see that the temperature is so hot. And again, you know, and we have to cool it down. We have to find the common ground. We don't have a choice. Mother Nature is reflecting back to us our own unprocessed wounding, which is why that divine feminine energy is being reset within us, so that we have a chance to get to this. You know, this beautiful planet here, she's not on fire, she's healthy, she's balanced. Okay, there may have been some redistribution of land somewhere along the way, but it's a happy, harmonious place. But that happy, harmonious new earth energy that we are trying to birth will only happen if it will be a reflection of us. we're holding ourselves back is what I'm hearing. We're holding ourselves back. Humankind is holding ourselves back. I said that yesterday I couldn't do this video, and I will just elaborate now on that, because the reason I couldn't do this video yesterday wasn't just because I was feeling the pain of what's happening out there. It was literally a moment of despair, to be honest, in terms of I just don't know how to do this work and make these videos without being literally, excuse the pun, shot down in flames for pretty much any subject that I want to speak about at the moment, because there's so many people that just want an argument. There's so many people that just want to point the finger and say you're wrong. And that's not the same as gentle debate. That's attack energy. Now, I am somebody who will always stay the course, so I'll always keep coming back. But I will step back when I know the temperature's just too hot out there. And no, you know, people aren't listening. I'm not talking about my loyal people that watch me, my regular subscribers. I'm talking about people who just stumble on this work and are triggered so much by it. And most days, yeah, I know it comes with the territory. It totally comes with the territory. And actually to trigger somebody is to show that you've planted a seed, because you've made them question their standpoint. Otherwise, there's no need for them to come back at you. But yesterday, it was literally like the temperature's just too hot. You know, Metatron just said, you know, just go, sit outside, chill, literally chill. Okay, it's as though as a world, we need to cool it down. We need to cool it down with each other. We need to cool it down between countries. We need to cool it down between people of different faiths. We need to cool it down between people of different colour. We need to cool it down between people of different countries. We just need to cool it down. You know, Mother Earth is reflecting back to us the state of our inner being, and at the moment many people are on fire inside. So what can balance that out? What can balance that out is the chakras, the elementals working with the chakra system. Funnily enough, one of you this morning put a lovely comment about a video that I did, a meditation video that I made, 3-4 years ago in Canada, where I'm sitting beside a lake and I'm taking you through a chakra rebalance with the elements. And rather than me doing this now, I'm not going to just reinvent the wheel the whole time, because also I've got a dentist appointment in half an hour. I'm going to put the link to that video, and those of you that want to do it, feel called to do it, are resonating with what I'm saying about your internal temperature being too high. Do that. Sit beside the lake with me and let's reset our chakras. Let's bring in the energy of fire, earth, water, air, etc. and let us become more balanced. You don't have to, but I would recommend it might be something to do. If you don't want to sit through that meditation with me, do your own version of it. Go and sit out in nature, connect into Mother Earth, connect into the air, connect into the water. Maybe go and swim in the water if you're near the water. Connect into the fire energy within you and remember, you're the alchemist. You're the alchemist, you're the magician. You're able to, I'm being shown the energy of Jesus here, who was able to walk on water. What does that mean? It means that he was able to control the elements. Not in terms of a master and servant type way, in that I'm going to control you. No, because he understood that the water energy that he saw out there in terms of the lake was a reflection of his own water energy that he had within him. So if you and the water are one, you can do anything. If you and fire are one, you can do anything. That's how people walk over hot coals. Okay? So it's working with the elements. I'm just going to pull a couple of cards here linked into the 5th tarot deck. That is one of my favourite decks. I haven't used it for ages, and it suddenly called me yesterday. And the 5th tarot deck is what it says it is. It incorporates all the elements. So let's just pull a couple of cards from here. just to see any other guidance that wants to come through today. But yeah, more than anything, work on your own fire energy. And you see, it's so interesting. I can feel straight away some people are thinking, I don't need to do that, but I know who does. No, you do. I do. We all do. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing, that they're full of fire, they're full of fury, that they're angry, they're this, they're that. No, work on yourself. By you working on yourself, you affect that other person anyway. Otherwise, you're just adding more and more fuel to the fire, okay, the collective fire. It's so easy just to think, oh no, yeah, that's good advice, but I don't think I need to do that. You do need to do that. We all need to do that, okay? And if it's not fire that's out of control within you, it'll be another element. You might be drowning in emotion. You know, what is emotion? It's the energy of water. You might be, you might have an absence of, or what I'm being shown is a whirlpool, a tornado of air energy within you. What do I mean by that? I'm talking about confused minds. You know, the mind is linked into the energy of air, okay? So we can clear our mind by working with the energy of air, which is why you feel better when you open a window. It's why you feel better when you go out for a walk and you breathe in the fresh air. You're clearing your mind. You're using the element to do it, okay? Right, let's just see. So 3 cards then, please. Any message that wants to come through. By the way, if you can hear a noise on this video, I've had to put a fan on behind me to cool my camera down. I'm using the element of air now just to get this video to you. Okay, 3 cards, please, Metatron. 6 of Stones, the card of compassion. We have to sink into compassion. We also have to have compassion for our fellow man who's going through it at the moment, the people that are displaced, the people who are worried about their homes, the people who have lost their homes, the people who are worried about their animals, the people that have been bereaved, the animals that have been hurt. We have to have compassion. We have to sink into compassion for our fellow man. That's the energy of rose quartz as well. And 6 of Stones in this deck would be the 6 of Pentacles. So it's very much linked into what you give out is what you get back. So if you're expecting somebody to be compassionate to you when you have a problem or you have fire in your neck of the woods or flooding, you have to also extend that compassion to somebody else who's going through it right now. You know, we are all one. The Initiator Feathers. Do you know, that card comes up every single time I read from this deck, and I don't know why. I've never particularly liked the card, but anyway, what it's linked into is all of the ancient sites. So we've already had Stonehenge coming up. This links into Machu Picchu, I think, but you know, to be honest, you could take your pick, any of the sacred sites, and doesn't have to be the really well-known ones. It can be the stone circle in your part of the world. It can be the mountain, it can be the river, it can be the sea, for example, where I live. It can be a place which is on the ley line. We need to be doing some work linked into that, okay? Very much like we did for the Australia video. I asked you to, for example, place clear quartz crystals. Just those of you that do ceremonial work, linked into helping to clear the land, send energy into the land, which is healing it, calming it, cooling it. Now is the time to do that, okay? Working with, I wanted to say working with fossils as well feels important at the moment. I couldn't find this earlier. I kept looking for it. I thought it was in my jewellery box, but it's not. It's up here. I've shown you this crystal before. And, oh God. Petrovsky stone. I think I say it wrong, but anyway, that's what it is. So to me, working with the energy of fossils, stones, crystals, I don't want to be prescriptive on this because you all have your own unique way of working with Mother Earth. Some of you may want to drum upon her. Some of you may want to sing to her. Some of you may want to lay crystal grids upon her. Some of you may just want to sit in prayer. It doesn't matter what you do, it's more about doing something, okay? Particularly linked into sacred places. So the Initiate of Feather. You see, even that, look, it's breathing fire. I'm also hearing that these sacred sites are being powered up. We've got Stonehenge, we've also got this, but the sacred sites are being powered up. The sacred sites are portals at the end of the day. So, and this is obviously also linking into the energy of the Pleiades, the constellation, the stars. So fire by its nature, I'm hearing energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Fire explodes and then it dies down, but the energy of fire is still there at a different astral level. And it's as though where in some places it's destroying and taking away, in other places via the crystal grid energy, it's flowing and it's powering up. Okay, because it goes down into the earth, the heat goes down into the earth, but I'm then being shown some of this fire energy flowing down into Mother Earth, then flows to other places in the world, and I feel it's flowing into some of these sacred sites, it's powering them up. So it's almost as though what fire takes away, it gives back in another way, because these portals, when they're fired up, are then a gift for all of us, because by nature they are places which hold the records, the secrets, the mysteries of our universe, the codes, the healing, okay? And they can be accessible to us, not just when we go and visit them, but in astral, in dream state. You can ask to be taken to Stonehenge. You can ask to be taken to, I'm being shown the Taj Mahal. Is the Taj Mahal one of the 7 wonders of the world? I think it is, isn't it? I'm being shown the Taj Mahal because that's a portal of love. You can be asked to be taken to Machu Picchu, you can be asked to be taken to the pyramids, okay, and asked to receive the gift that is there for you, okay. That would be a nice meditation that maybe I could create for us, going and doing a little astral trip of all the 7 wonders. That would be great, wouldn't it? I've got Fleetwood Mac in my head now. 7 Wonders, great song, okay. Okay, let's just have another card then, linked into these fires for people that are going through them. Remember, this is the most important one after the storm. The storm will pass, guys. One more card. And I've really got to go. One more card for today. Fire's energy. Anything else to be said, Metatron? Radiance and creativity. Now, fire is linked into the solar plexus chakra and the sacral. I mean, the solar plexus and the sacral to me are so closely and intrinsically linked. So fire energy, remember what I just said, energy can be neither created or destroyed. It can, not only can it power up the portals around our world, it can also power up our own creative spirit. And I'm actually being shown the people that are literally living through this right now. There's many people that are living through this right now, and they might go back to their homes, their neighbourhoods, but it will have changed them irrevocably, okay? And they will do life in a different way. They will create something out of this. They will either build again, whether that's a physical building or an internal building within themselves. It will irrevocably change them, but in a positive way, in a way that they have to sink into their solar plexus and sacral power and create something new from the ashes. It's the energy of rebirth. From the ashes, the phoenix is born. And look at that, the card of radiance. This is also to me an energy of surrender. It's like I'm surrendering to a higher power, that even though this is really difficult and awful, there is a reason why this is happening. Linked into many different factors, Mother Earth purging being one, and what Mother Earth needs ultimately is what I need, okay, it's what I need. Let's pull a card for the animals. Let's just pull a card for the animals. The animals that are going through this at this time as well, because they are powerful beings of light, like we are, like Mother Earth is, and they are part of all of this as well. Let's pull a card for the animals, please. What about the animals? Okay, I'm hearing they're much wiser and more in tune than human beings are. We've got the card of motion. And we've got the card of expectation. It's almost as though the animals had already sensed this. The animals had already sensed what was coming. They were, I'm hearing they were expecting it. At some level of being, they were expecting it. And again, they are in motion like we are. They're being asked to, if they can, adapt to new climates, new ways of being, new places to live, etc. And it's not necessarily easy either. I mean, that card of motion shows a little bit of anguish as well. So we also need to send our prayers and our light absolutely to the animals. But I also love this card of expectation, which to me shows somebody who's watching over the animals. Okay, so this is the angels. That, you know, animals have their own guides and guardians and spirits around them, watching over and protecting them. So also you can bring in that to any animal that you're worried about, or any group of animals that you're worried about affected by these fires as well. Ask the angels to watch over them. Yeah, let's just have a final card. Archangel Sandalphon is a great energy to be working with through all of this. Sandalphon takes our prayers to heaven, and links into the Earth Star chakra as well, so is good for earth healing. Any earth healing, prayers to heaven, also helping you if you're feeling ungrounded and unrooted because you've had to leave your home. Sandalphon is also very gentle and loving, very supportive. Let's just have a bit of Sandalphon energy, guys. This is the card that came out, the talking stick, okay? Sharing stories with each other, sharing problems. A problem shared is a problem halved. The need for community, the need for coming together, the need for sharing of stories. And it's almost as though this is a time to do that, to be with other people, to not be in isolation when you're going through something such as severe as these fires. But to come together as a group, as a community, and share stories, to pass the talking stick. And again, the talking stick is all about, it's listening. It's when the person has this talking stick, you listen. You don't try and butt in, you don't try and argue, you don't try and, you know, say your piece because they're wrong. There's a lot to be said here for the energy of the talking stick. I keep looking up there because I'm just going to show you my, you've seen him before, my Indigenous elder. It's actually the red card in the Metatron deck. Those of you that have bought my Metatron deck, let me just pull the camera around here. There he is, okay. So you see there, he's got his talking stick. And he's got, just maybe if you just tune into his energy, because there's, sorry, I'm just trying to get him in shot rather than me. There we go. There's great strength, there's great wisdom. Listening to our elders, listening to the Indigenous people, listening to what they have to say. And what he's saying is, and what they will say is, listen to the land. Listen to the land. So he's saying, listen to the land, listen to the fire. It's telling us all to cool it. Okay. I think that's it, guys. Squeaky tripod. Yeah, I need to get going, but what I will do is I'll be back. Might even do another video this afternoon, so please look out for 2 videos from me this week. This one, and I'm also going to do a video for the new moon in Virgo, which is going to be very gentle, very loving, and we're going to set some energy of prayer and just harmonious vibration. So we will also send prayer to all of you affected by the fires in that as well. Let's end with the drum, shall we? Let's end with the drum. Where's it gone? Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, as they always say. And make sure you are subscribed. People are being taken away from the channel, okay? let's beat for the new earth energy and for renewal. Renewal. Recovery. Strength. Courage. And let's just pray and be there for each other. Namaste. To anybody affected by the fires, I send you enormous love. Let's come together as a community. Take care of yourselves. See you all soon. Bye-bye for now. Bye.